Hi everyone, James Braithwaite here with Braithwaite Physiotherapy, and I am with Francis. What's your last name, Francis?
Nitsch.
Francis Nitsch. I should have figured that out before the video started. Francis Nitsch of Thrive Fitness, where he works, of course, with Brian Kotoko, who we've had in videos before. Their awesome studio here down at the beaches. And we today did a little workshop together where we were practicing releases and stretches. And one of the things that we talked about was this amazing new technique that only I have ever done in the history of physiotherapy. I'm just kidding, it's probably been done many times before. First time that I ever did it. What we're going to do, this is a mobilization, it's a joint mobilization for people who have come out of casts after a wrist fracture. So you've had your forearm casted and you're stiff into supination and pronation, this rotation action at the forearm. Super common problem. People tend to focus mostly on the flexion extension at the wrist, but pronation, supination, also super important movement pattern that needs to be mobilized as well. And this question actually came to me on YouTube, and so I owe a big thanks to the YouTube suggestions. Keep sending those suggestions for videos as well. I really appreciate those. So we're going to show you how to do this mobilization. This is something that you can do at home. It has to be appropriate for you. So if you do indeed have a joint restriction, and that's something that your clinician can help you to diagnose. If it is a true joint restriction, this is something that could be appropriate for you. So what I've done here is I've taken a bicycle inner tube, right? And you've seen this, I put up videos before. There's a previous video I posted in late November about how to cut your own bicycle inner tube into this elastic bandage, basically, right? So we're gonna use our cut inner tube. We're gonna roll it up, as we have here, as if it was a tensor bandage. And I'm gonna take my handy Francis Nitsch, my forearm in hand model here. Thank you for volunteering, Francis. You did sign the waiver. So we're going to use our band to wrap from the outside to the inside first. Okay, so we're going to wrap just a couple times around, 75% tightness. Right. So as you might recall again, 75% means if that's as much as I could possibly pull it, I want to go 75% of that level of tension, right? Give it just a couple wraps around. Make sure you get across the top of the radius and the ulna, which is sort of in this meaty part of the forearm, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold the roll in your opposite hand, and you're going to pull some tension into it. What that's going to do is that's going to pull the radius across the ulna in this direction, which is the direction, believe it or not, that the radius moves when you open your hand up. So as I open my hand up, the radius slides that way. And that's what we're trying to simulate with this wrap. So we've got the pressure pulling the radius that way. And Francis, you're gonna open up your palm to the point where you feel a barrier. You feel you can't go anymore. So right around there, eh? Yeah. Right? So keep the tension on, get to your barrier, and then pulse 20 times into it, right? Good, just pulse 20 times. You wanna make sure that the rotation's not happening at the shoulder. It's all at the forearm, right? So if you notice that you're going, in, out, like that, that's no good. This part of the elbow has to be stable. It's only forearm movement. So you pulse 20 times, right? Yep. Okay, relax for a minute, then do 20 more. So you do another set of 20. 1, 2, skip a few. We pretend you've done 2 sets of 20. Okay. And you're gonna unwrap, right? So let's just get this thing off you. Good. And you're going to retest how much you can open up, right? And in an ideal situation, if you were restricted, you would see more, a better ability to get into that supinated position, right? You can do the exact opposite for your pronation movement. So I'm just going to wrap in the opposite direction. So once again, get my tensor bandage rolled up, right? I'm going to roll this time from outside, or from inside to outside. Instead of outside to inside, it's inside to outside, so. Have it anchored out there, right? And then this time, Francis, you're gonna go into there. Yeah, exactly. Go to your barrier and then pulse into the barrier. Exactly, just like that. Nice little movement, 20 pulses. And the band is pulling you the opposite direction. You should feel that glide. Good.
A lot of glide there.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's pretend that's 20, right?
Sounds good.
2 sets of 20. And then retest your pronation, supination, whatever movement it was that you were trying to improve. Try this one at home. It is something that if you have a joint restriction can be helpful. give it a whirl. Let me know how it goes. Send me some feedback. If you're unsure as to whether or not your restriction is due to a joint problem or otherwise, do be sure to refer to your physiotherapist or whoever it is that's treating you for this particular restriction problem. If you have any questions, drop me a line. Special thanks to Francis Nitsch of Thrive Fitness, and thanks to you guys for hosting me. That's great. We'll see you next time.